Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Woo! My voice is not waking up yet, has not woken up yet. It's one of those mornings. Good morning, good morning, good morning to all of you in Facebook land and anyone else who might be watching this also on YouTube, because I will be putting these up on YouTube. Welcome to another Me First Morning. Today is day 9, and I will be doing Me First Mornings every weekday morning from all of March on Mondays through Fridays. So every morning at 10 o'clock, Monday through Friday, we're going to have a Me First Morning. If you're here already, please say hello. If you're watching the replay, just say hashtag replay so I know you're watching it. And thank you so much for joining me. So here we are. I'm so excited to be here with you guys this morning. I have my crystal spheres. Feel free to grab whatever it is that you need in order to feel grounded. I'm wearing my crystal crown again today because I don't know, it felt good yesterday. I'm going to do it again. So let's take a deep, deep breath. We're going to breathe in as deeply as we can. We're going to hold for 5 seconds, and then we're going to release it. We're going to completely blow out all of our air. Before doing that, I haven't set the stage. Here's a candle. Can I get in this? Yes, I can. This candle is running low. Oh, that was so disappointing. All right, here we go. This is actually a Saint Germain candle. Here we go. One that I picked up from Jen Beldy Post. I don't know if she's watching, but she makes beautiful candles too. I like to collect candles from all the amazing spiritual people that I follow. And so that's one of hers. And it's a Saint Germain candle because I'm really feeling that we need to burn some stuff away today. I'm feeling like a little bit heavy this morning, a little bit disjointed. So we're going to do this together. So we lit our candles, so you can do that if you have a candle to set the stage. If you don't have a candle, you don't need one. I'm going to use a little sacred frankincense and a little lavender to kind of zone in. Say good morning if you're here. Hello, hello. And for those of you who are here, I'll introduce myself. My name is Patricia Ribeiro Wolfson, and I'm adding some essential oils to start my day, to trigger those senses that, the brain, through the olfactory senses, the brain gets triggered into feelings of peace and calm, and I love it. So I am the host of Soul Seekers TV, and I'm also an intuitive coach and energy healer. And I help people release the patterns release old patterns through coaching and energy work. And then together we create new aligned steps towards personal and professional success. Good morning, Mom in Lisbon. And good morning, Meredith. Thank you for being here. I love that you guys are here. Okay, so let's take that deep breath because we all need. Feel free to, like I said, grab any support tools or nothing at all. You can hold your hands, facing up. Palms facing up, palms facing down in a mudra, however you feel empowered. And let's take a deep breath. Ready? And release. So we're taking a deep, deep breath, holding for 5 seconds, and then releasing. And the idea is we want to get our lungs breathing at their full capacity. So we're going to take the deepest breath that we can, hold it for 5 seconds, and then release as much of that breath as we can to clear it all out. And we're going to think in our heads, releasing all of the tension. We're going to release all of the things that don't serve us, release all the stagnant energy that has just been sitting in our bodies. We're going to do that together. Okay, ready? One more time. And last one. Right. I think that last one did it for me. So if you're not already following me on social media, of course, you're on my Facebook page. So clearly you follow me on Facebook, but I'm also on Instagram. I'm at Patricia Rivera Wolfson. You can find me through Soul Seekers TV, at Soul Seekers TV, also on Instagram, or on Facebook through my other ventures, Soul Seekers TV and Goddess Gatherings, and my company, Jumpstart for Change. I just, oh, Meredith, you're going to like this. I just got some new gift certificates. I should have brought them to show you. I just created some gift certificates. So if you want to give the gift of an oracle card reading or a me first session with somebody, for somebody, if you know somebody who could really use a session with me to sort of get things going in their life and get things for me to help them create the life that they want. We would go through all sorts of steps together. I have sessions that I can do, so just reach out to me personally and I'm happy to send you a gift certificate. So I have like actual physical gift certificates, but I also have online certificates. Yes, I'm really excited too. And of course, I also do Reiki, healing with Reiki and healing with IET, which is integrated energy therapy. So if you know someone who just needs a break, maybe needs some healing or some support in those areas, then feel free to, reach out to me, and I now have gift certificates. Okay, so let's set our intention this morning with a prayer. As I always say, you can either set the intention that the prayer is also relevant for you, or you're setting the same intention. You can say your own prayer. You can just sit in silence. Whatever works for you. But this is my intention for myself and anyone else who wants this to represent them as well. Divine Mother, Infinite Father, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit Guides, Ancestors, and all beings of 100% pure white light, allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. May the highest vibration of infinite consciousness connect with my higher self and release any and all things that do not serve me. I ask that Saint Germain and his infinitely powerful violet flame burn away the things that no longer serve humanity and hold us back from our divine existence. Help us to embody our intentions for the day and help us raise the collective vibration for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and so it is. So the point of these Me First mornings, both for you and for me, is to get us into a habit of checking in with ourselves. I am setting up the ritual as if I was doing it on my own. And in fact, I rarely do it on my own. And this has actually helped me to integrate this. And I think it's really important. And I do other things and I set intentions throughout the day. I'm constantly talking with my spirit team and God and whoever's listening. But there's something about creating an intentional ritual. So these Me First mornings, I created for myself and for anybody else that kind of likes to do things with other people, where it's like when you have somebody else to sort of show up for, you are more inspired to do it for yourself. That's how I am. And so that's why I've created this. And it's to help you kind of take a minute, think about what your GPS word might be, or what the feeling is that you want to create today. You maybe want to think about the feeling that you want to create if you had all the things that you wanted. What would that feeling be? And how do we integrate that feeling into the day-to-day? And that's what Me First Mornings is about. It's really about us integrating each day the things that we want and that we envision for the future, but we have to kind of anchor them into the present. And so that's what the Me First experience is all about. If you have your beverage, feel free to take a sip. This is my mug this morning. Yes, again, I like to curse a lot. And I was telling you, as I wrote in this, it's real talk, okay? Because I feel like I need to remind people sometimes that I wasn't always like this. And my day-to-day doesn't always look like this. It is not always peaceful. It is not always smooth. Good morning, Linda. I love you. I'm so glad you're here. this is Facebook. This is, what I do professionally. But the reason that I do this, the reason I got into personal development, the reason that I, created Me First Mornings and why I created the Me First formula is because I needed support. I know we talked about near the beginning of Me First Mornings, and I talked about how I went through a very dark, deep depression in my mid to late 20s, around 27. It was a really, really rough time. I cried every day, and I was really, really depressed and diagnosed as such. And I highly recommend that if you are going through that, to get somebody to talk to. And at that time in my mid to late 20s, I didn't see a therapist. I have a therapist now because I think it's really important to continually do the work of healing ourselves so that we can show up in a more holistic way for ourselves and for our families. There's things that there's always going to be things that trigger you. There's always going to be things that, connect to the traumas that you've experienced as a child. And we've all experienced them. Some people's traumas are incredibly horrible, and other people's traumas were traumatic to them and may not in the grand scheme of things. Like, you may look at your life and be like, well, I had a really nice life. And, I had a very nice life. I had great parents. And, I had, a couple of traumatic things happen to me as a child. But I grew up in a loving home, and I always felt loved, and my grandma lived with me my whole life, and, I had family all around me, but there's still things that we deal with. There's still traumas and, challenges that we deal with no matter what your life looks like. And so I encourage you to take care of yourself in those ways. I encourage you to acknowledge and validate the struggles that you go through. And I promise you that the challenges and struggles that you're going through on a day-to-day basis, they're connected to those old traumas. It's connected to those things from the past. And I'm not saying you have to go dive deep into the past if it's not something you're ready for, or if you don't have a professional to help you with it. But I do say that each and every day, you have to try and the word that's coming to me is heal. And I use heal a lot because I really feel that healing is such an important part of the process. But what you need to do every single day is try to embody who you already are, right? Who you already are, who you were born as. We were all born perfect little creatures, right? Perfect, perfection is an illusion, but we were all born exactly as we were meant to be. And through life experiences, through, society, through things that we've learned, through school, not bashing anyone or anything, but just through the process, right? And obviously there's, systems of oppression at play that, don't really affect me because I'm, a privileged cis white woman, but that definitely affect other people and maybe you watching. So there's definitely systems at play to keep you down. But even still, in each and every moment, you have the power to step into your day as the person you want to be. And that's what Me First Mornings is about. And, I share these tools with you. I share my stories with you, not to be like, I have everything figured out. I share them with you because each and every day, I have to do the work. I have to practice this, because if I don't practice this, I may go down a very, very dark tunnel again. I have tendencies to, fall into depression. I definitely have tremendous anxiety. And so the tools that I have developed, through coaching, through personal development, things that I've added into my toolbox, they've come because I've tried things out. Certain things worked for me, certain things didn't. And so I'm sharing with you what I do each and every day. And, I struggle with routine, so I don't do them. I don't do every single thing every single day. But very often when I'm really struggling and when I'm having a sad day or an anxious day or a day where I feel completely overwhelmed or I feel terrible about myself, I access my toolbox and I'm like, what can I do here? And sometimes I will access my, in my toolbox is my group of friends, right? Linda, she's here, Marissa, I call my parent, my mom. Like sometimes we need outside support, and I'm here in that capacity for you too. Like if you're going through stuff, or, maybe you're not going through, really terrible things, but you're ready to kind of, okay, I'm ready to take charge of my life, to do things in a new way because this old way isn't working, then I can help you with that. But please use your resources and understand that every tool and every resource that I share with you, it is because I have used it, and I continue to hone them through my children, because just like I need those resources, my children need those resources. And so I adjust things according to whatever they need. So I may do some of the me first stuff with them and they roll their eyes and, I drive them crazy, and I'll make adjustments. So maybe, it doesn't seem so school-like, because my kids can't stand anything that seems like school. But it's really important that we connect with ourselves, know what we want, know who we want to be, and try and incorporate those aspects, those characteristics, and who we are in each and every moment with each and every decision. That's the only way that you're going to really get lasting change in your life, if change is what you're looking for. It's by small incremental steps, okay? So let's see what the cards have to say. Oh, by the way, I decided that I'm going to do Fun Fridays. All right, so tomorrow is Friday. So the Me First morning tomorrow is going to be me pulling cards for people. So if you're watching now, or if you're watching the replay, then make sure you join me tomorrow morning if you want me to pull a card. And I'm going to do it just from 10 to 10:30, so get on early, because I know people love getting their cards pulled. All right, so here we go. What do we need to know today? Okay, so the card that comes is number 16, rescue. Rescue. Do you need rescuing? Do you feel like you need rescuing? It's number 16 right there. Okay, I'm just going to take a look at the card. Wow. Maybe that's what's going on with you, or me, or in the energy right now. And it definitely applies to me, that there's days where things just seem so overwhelming and that we just cannot move forward anymore. And we really just want to be rescued. We're standing there and we're just waiting. We're waiting for someone to come and save us. We're waiting for someone to come and solve our problem. We're waiting for maybe time to pass and things just to magically disappear. And look, I will tell you that sometimes you have a problem that you're thinking about and you're trying to figure out in your head, and you're like, I can make the decision. I don't know what to do, and this and that. And you wait long enough and the decision gets made for you, whether that's good or bad. The time passes, and in there lies your decision, right? Not taking action is a decision. So maybe what I'm feeling for this card is it's time for you to know that you can rescue yourself. And here's the thing, you're rescuing yourself, but you're never alone. Remember that card we pulled earlier this week, which was the magical pool, right? So we are always connected to source. We are always connected to infinite intelligence. And we can access infinite intelligence because we have that ability to tune in. It's just that we haven't learned how to do it, right? Like, if you don't know someone's phone number, then you can't call them. It doesn't mean that they're not there. It doesn't mean that they can't help you. It doesn't mean they don't exist. It just means you haven't figured out what their phone number is, right? And so that's what Me First Mornings is about. It's about us connecting and learning how to dial infinite intelligence's phone number, right? It's knowing what things feel like in your body when it's a yes. It's knowing what things feel like in your body when it's a no. Now, what does that mean, right? What does that mean? Well, you do feel it, right? You feel it when something is good and you're excited about something, you're almost like jumping out of your skin. So when you're really excited about something, you don't have to go, hey, am I really excited about this thing? Like, can you help me decide? Like, if you're really excited about something, you don't call people to ask what you should do. You usually call people to say, oh my God, I'm so excited. I can't even believe this, right? And likewise, if something is not going the way you want, you don't call somebody and go, I don't know what you think about this, but someone just hit my car. Is that a bad thing? Is it bad? Right? You know it's bad. You know it doesn't work for you. You know that it's like a challenge or something that you're not happy with. There's no confusion there, and there's definitely your body does react to that. You know when something doesn't feel good in your body, or if you're in a room and all of a sudden somebody you don't like walks in, and you like your whole body just like tenses up, and you get that little that little feeling in the back of your neck where like the hair stands up on the back of your neck because you just don't want to deal with that person. Your body is constantly communicating with you, and it's time that we learn what those messages mean. And all you need to do is tune in. And even a fun little exercise to do is like tune in and, either say to yourself or imagine, what something good is, right? So it's like, think of a memory, right? A memory of something that's like, oh my God, that was the best, right? So, I can say like my honeymoon in Hawaii. Oh my God, like I feel my whole body like fill up. It's so much excitement. Like, oh my God, it was so amazing. I wish I could go there again. Or when I think about getting together with Linda and Marissa, we've talked about having like a girls get together, a getaway weekend, like when all of this COVID is over. Going away on a girls, weekend with spa and beach and all that fun stuff, right? Yes, it's so stereotypical. I don't care. I want that. And when I think about that, my entire body just like, it's so exciting. And I feel my body kind of like moving in excitement and tingling, right? But then if I personally was to think about like suddenly someone coming to my house and saying, hey, you need to do this math test because, whatever, you need to like write this math test because of whatever, I would be like, what? I have to do a math? No, I don't want to do a math test. Like, I'm done school. I'm not doing that, right? And I say math test because that was my Achilles heel in school was math. So you feel the difference in your body. So if you want to get to know how your body reacts to things, then put yourself in that imagination place during meditation or during quiet contemplation and just, imagine for a moment, something amazing and how good that feels and how your body reacts, right? Even I'm using examples from the past, but, even examples of the future, right? What you want your life to look like. When I ask you, what does it feel like? Imagine yourself, in your dream job, making a crap ton of money, being able to vacation, spend time with your friends, no worries in the world, everything gets resolved. You have perfect group of team members in your organization that you can fully and completely trust, who all do their jobs properly and everything runs smoothly. Like, how does that feel in your body? Yes, 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 right? And then when you think about not doing anything and never getting there, how does that feel like? Like for me, it's a drop in my stomach. Like literally, I get stomach pains when I think of like not living up to my potential, right? It makes me feel also kind of guilt and shame. Like, oh my God, like I lived my whole life. Am I really not going to achieve the things that I imagined that I could? And so become really familiar with how you feel. And I said today, I'm going to tell you a little trick that I use, okay? And it's a spiritual tool. I didn't say it was a trick, but it is a trick. It's a spiritual tool that I use for support when making decisions. Now, just before I tell you about that, next week, we are going to dive into the actual Me First acronym, okay? So we're going to do the Me First acronym. We're going to cover all the letters. And for those of you who maybe don't recall, M is for momentum, E is for energy, F is for focus, I is for inner work, R is for relationships, S is for showing up, like stepping up your game, and T is for trust. And so we're going to start covering the Me First formula more specifically next week. Tomorrow, we're doing card readings to see maybe what's holding you back from achieving everything that you want. And I do have a workbook but I couldn't get the link ready for you. But if you are interested in the workbook, now this is, so the workbook that I have is the Access Your Success workbook. And I can actually, can I show it to you? I don't even know if I can show it to you. Can we share the screen on Facebook? I don't know if we can. I'll have to look and see if we can share the screen because you guys definitely need to see the workbook. But basically, it's like, 5 pages of questions. It doesn't seem as daunting as it is, but basically that will take you through figuring out what your GPS word is, the feeling, the core feeling that you want to create in your life. Then the next thing is we'll cover the alter ego, and we'll even go into some of the blocks and resistance that you may have and how to start addressing them. That's everything in the workbook, which you can definitely do on your own, but I am going to hold a masterclass. It's going to be the Me First Masterclass, all about accessing your success GPS. So if you're interested in that, please write in the comments, just say me please, and I will send you a link as soon as it's ready. And hopefully it'll be ready by tomorrow. So even though I pull cards, I'll be pulling cards tomorrow, I will give you guys access to the link. And then you can also get information on the masterclass. Okay, so here is one of my secret tools, okay? This is a pendulum. Now, this is a pendulum with a witness chamber, which means basically that I love this pendulum. It's a mermaid. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, it has a crystal in here, and this is actually a Herkimer diamond. And it is basically just to, let me close this, darn it. Just makes things more powerful. So here's what I do. Now, I've worked with a pendulum for a long time, and at the same time, I doubt my ability to work with a pendulum. And now here's the funny story, and you guys are going to appreciate this. If you've ever worked with a pendulum, raise your hand or wave, do a little wave or something, okay? Now, working with a pendulum is awesome. So basically, I'm not going to teach you, I will go into the pendulum another time, but this is just to give you a little trick because, this is like a whole course you can take on the pendulum. But basically with the pendulum, I didn't clear it. Gotta clear it. And so this connects to your energy. So you put it like, right about here, right? I like to have it right around my heart space, right? And it goes back and forth, right? And so that is my yes. And you can even say, I can say what is my yes? And so it will start to move forward and backward, right? Okay. And so you can see it here. Yeah, it moves forward and backward. And if I say, what is my no? Then it changes direction, right? Now it starts to go side to side, right? So can you see that it goes a different way? I think so. Okay. And here's how I get over. Here's how I use it, even when I'm not sure of the answer. Because, if you're not well hydrated, if you're not truly connected, it can affect the pendulum, right? Because it's your energy that's affecting the pendulum. So, but what I like to do is I like to use this as my filter, right? So if there's something I'm unsure of, I'll check with the pendulum and I'll be like, should I work on my, my Me First Masterclass today, right? So the pendulum says yes. Here's the thing. I still get to decide. If in my head, I'm like, I didn't want it to say yes, I wanted it to say no, then that's my answer. Does that make sense? I use this sometimes to cut through the BS, right? To cut through the ego, because the ego is always trying to control the answers. It's like, okay, should I work on my workbook? You should work on your workbook. You really should prepare things. You have so many things to do. This needs to get out, right? And my brain starts going through, what an anxious brain goes through. All of the reasons why I should, all of the reasons why other things have a priority. So when I hear too much chatter in my head, I go for the pendulum and I'll be like, whatever it is, okay, so I have two choices. Today, I have nobody at home, right? So I have two choices. I can work on my business or I can work on my home. Let's just say those are my two things. And I'm like, oh God, I could really clean up. Nobody's home. It's quiet, but I could also get a lot done work-wise, right? So I'll ask the pendulum, okay, is it in my highest and greatest good to work on the home? Yes, my pendulum says yes. My pendulum definitely says yes. Is it in my highest and greatest good to work on business? Pendulum's like, hell no, girl, your house is a mess, right? However, it's still my choice. Do you understand? When you make a choice, when you like refer to the pendulum, it's going to tell you it's in your highest and greatest good. Okay. It is, right? Especially if you're connected, if you're hydrated and everything is working, it's going to tell you. But if inside you still want to do something different, guess what? Free will, people. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want, but don't go back and forth and the choices and the going down this lane, that lane. Like, stop with the analysis paralysis. I am the queen of analysis paralysis. I will think something to death for hours. For hours. And the pendulum has helped me to disconnect from all of that analysis where I'll just be like, just tell me what I feel. Just like, I'm literally like, sometimes you just want to turn to somebody and please just tell me what to do. Well, the pendulum acts as that for me, where I'll be like, just please tell me what to do. Should I clean or should I do this? And very often I'll be like, okay, pendulum said yes, I know exactly what to do. And I'll just do it because I want to remove the choice and all of that analysis from my ego. I don't want my ego involved. So then I get the pendulum, because for me, it's like, well, whether or not this pendulum is actually connected to source energy, which I believe it is, it's also, I really believe it's connected to my energy. So whatever the pendulum says, I believe that that's actually what my higher self thinks is best for me. So I can choose to say yes to that, and I can also choose to say no. But then you have to decide, do I want to live in alignment with my higher self? And am I going to listen to what my higher self is advising me? And if the answer is yes, then you go with it. And if the answer is no, that day, with that topic, with that choice, then you can say no. You have free will. Literally, we have the God-given right to do whatever we want, to make whatever choice we want, because that's what God wants, right? God was like, I love you. You're amazing. You are divine beings. You get to choose. I'm not going to take that choice away from you. And so, sometimes that is a weight on us. Like, it's my choice. I feel pressure. I'm in control. Right? And so on those days where I feel real overwhelmed, where I feel completely like I have no idea what to do, I pull out my pendulum. And it doesn't just have to be like, this is one type of pendulum. You can literally just grab like a crystal. This one's too big. You need something that's more like a point, something with a point, which, you think, oh, I do have one, something like this, right? And you tie a string or some wire or something so that, it can move back and forth. That's all you need. You can make it yourself. You don't need to get all fancy, or do what I do and go on Etsy and find something pretty that you like, that feels inspiring, that you feel connected to, that you are drawn to, because everything is more fun when you make it fun. Okay, that's it for today. I am so grateful for all of you who were here. Don't forget that if you want the Access Your Success, Me First GPS workbook, then drop me an emoji and just say, me please, and I will send you the link when it's ready. Otherwise, I'll tell you more about it tomorrow, and be here bright and early, 10 o'clock. Well, I guess that's not bright and early, unless you're on the West Coast. Be here at 10 o'clock, and I'll do some card readings, and we'll find out, what do the angels have to say to you about what you need to do to get things on track. Thank you so much. I really, truly love you all. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.